Hello, I'm Ansh and welcome to the Open Marketer. The day is finally here. We are diving headfirst into the free and open source presentation software LibreOffice Impress. The aim today is to familiarize ourselves with Impress, and to do that, we will essentially cover three things. See what is the out-of-the-box experience like. I have done a clean install of LibreOffice Impress and I'm opening it for the first time. Secondly, we'll take a quick tour of the interface so that you know what's where. And finally, while on the tour, I'll also talk about settings that you can change to make your transition from PowerPoint to Impress smooth. With that said, let's open Impress and see what we have in store for us. Okay, so it looks like Impress has picked up on my system's dark global theme, which is great. I also see that there is a template dialog box that has come up. Now, these all templates look great, but they are a little bit too busy for me. So I prefer to create my own template, and we'll do a video on that. And if you want to see that video, please consider subscribing. For now, I will just close this and stick to the blank presentation. In case you don't want this dialog box to appear on startup, you can uncheck this. I will leave this setting as is for now. The other pop-up we see here is the tip on how to change the interface. Impress supports a variety of interfaces. What you see here right now is the standard toolbar interface, and we can change it to a more familiar tabbed or ribbon style interface if you want. I will come back to this in a bit. I want to first see things and show it to you as they are out of the box. So I'll just do OK here. Right, so this is the interface, the standard interface that is given to us by LibreOffice. We see four main parts of the screen. The top section has the menu and the standard toolbars. On the left, we have the slides pane. In the center, we have the workspace. And on the right-hand side, we have our sidebar, which as of now is showing the properties of the slides. If you want to know where and what version of LibreOffice we are running, you can come here on Help and About LibreOffice. And you can see here that I am running the latest 25.8.3. I'm running this as a Flatpak on my Linux machine. On the right-hand side, as I was just pointing out, in the layouts, you see that there are some presets, auto layouts that come by default. The problem with Impress here is that it doesn't support custom layouts like how MS Office PowerPoint or Google Slides do. And that I feel is kind of a big gap that the software has in case you especially rely on customized layouts. So we can make certain changes in the master template, which does impact how some of these layout appear, but the change will be quite minimal. So basically we are stuck with these 12 layouts that are there by default. Other than that, for example, if I were to select one of these text boxes, the relevant properties get populated on the right hand side, and this is why I like this sidebar quite a lot. We can expand this a little so that it fits well. The right hand side sidebar also contains some other settings like the styles. Now, LibreOffice and Impress rely a lot on styles, and we'll go in more detail about the presentation style and the drawing styles and how we can change it while we are creating our own templates. There is also the gallery section, navigator, the different shapes and symbols. There is the slide transition, and there is also the animation section here. And finally, we have the master slides that you can select from in case you are not satisfied with the blank presentation that you're working with. All right, now to put all of you coming from MS Office at ease, let's go and change this interface to something a little bit more familiar, to the tabbed interface. For that, we have to go to View and select User Interface. And this is what you would have gotten if you had clicked the initial link that had come up in the tip section. So we have standard toolbar, which is what we see right now. That is the tabbed interface, which is the more familiar MS Office interface. Then we have single toolbar, sidebar, tabbed compact, grouped bar compact, and then contextual single. So we'll pick the tabbed interface, and once we apply the tabbed interface, we will see that the menu bar will disappear, but you can still access it, and I'll just show you how. Let's apply this and close. So as you can see, the top menu bar has disappeared, but if you want to access it, you can access it by clicking this top left corner icon, and we will get the menu bar back. Now, getting and having access to the menu bar is important for a couple of reasons. There are certain settings that are only available, at least based on what I have used, through the menu bar on the top. So for example, in format, and if you go to themes, this is the only place that you can access this setting from. So it's good to know that we can go into that mode if needed. The second reason for having access to the menu bar is a lot of times if you were to post a question on Reddit or on their Ask LibreOffice forum, people answering your question would refer to the standard toolbar interface while they are giving you directions. So then it's good to know, without changing the whole layout every time, how to access the menu bar on top. I'll add this back again. So here we have our tabbed layout. I also see that my sidebar has been collapsed. I'll bring that back because I like it. So this is my preferred workspace and settings that I work with mostly. And here, if I were to go into each of these headers, you can see what other settings are available. I found that, and you can also see this is not a one-to-one clone of Microsoft Office, and I think that is a good thing. Thinking or expecting one software to be a clone of the other, having the exact same feature, is unfair to both pieces of software. I would also request you to take a look at some of the drop downs that are there on the rightmost side of each of these headers, because you can find additional settings that you may need to access, which are not present here on the ribbon. I think beyond that, this all looks okay. I'll also introduce quickly some additional elements. I prefer to have the drawing toolbar enabled. We will do a quick tour of the different options and settings that are available. Now, all the different settings are under these 7 headers, and I'll focus on just 3 for the paucity of time. Now we have the appearance section under the LibreOffice part, where we can change the look and feel of LibreOffice. There is the customization bit here. You can also change and add different themes, change it to light or dark. There are also other icons. If you prefer something in color, you can go after Colibre. We can also change the size of the icons within toolbar, the sidebar, and the notebook bar, which is the tabbed interface. In case you don't see all the icons fitting in properly, you can update and change some of these default settings. Beyond this, if you go into the load and save section, we can update what kind of file format should be the default when we are saving. If you are working with people who regularly use Microsoft Office, I suggest that you put PowerPoint PPTX as your default format and uncheck the warning pop-up that will come up if you are not saving in ODF or default format. So you can uncheck. I will go back to the ODP file format because I generally use this for myself, and I will uncheck the warning pop-up. Finally, if I were to go into LibreOffice Impress's settings under grids, you can make the grid visible. You can also increase the subdivision, the resolution, and how objects get snapped to the grids. All these settings are quite granular, and you can play around with this to see what works for you the best. So we'll apply the settings and we'll click OK. So since I've applied the grid, you can see that some dots have appeared on my document, and that is the grid. I'll go to the simple setting of just the title, and I'll make some quick changes. As I told you, we can access some of these settings from here. For some reason, I see that the colors of the icons probably are in the light mode. Let me go and have a look at this again. Go to LibreOffice, go to Appearance, and rightly so, I have selected the non-dark option. You can go to the dark option and we can apply it. And now, yes, definitely much clearer. Here, apparently, oh, yeah, you can see that it looks like there is some kind of a bug here. I'm not quite sure why it's all white, but anyway, I think we can still make this thicker. So that's a simple slide built in LibreOffice Impress, nothing very fancy, but enough to see how the basic workflow feels. It is a little different from PowerPoint, but once you get to know where things live, it is very usable. Now, if I were to add a new slide, which we can do with the same shortcut Control M, you will see that it doesn't automatically match the design of the prior slide. And to fix that properly, we would need to work with the master slides and themes. And that's exactly what we will explore in the next video. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing so that you don't miss the next part on master slides and themes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.